Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
All right, welcome. We're live here at Jim Gana Stadium, and we're getting ready for the second to last home matchup here for for Dakota Fusion FC. And if the Dakota Fusion can win today, there's a chance that they could lock themselves up a home game in the playoffs. So then it would be the third to last game, or depending on how many games they won in the playoffs, we could have more games after that. So we'll just have to see. Mike Mason alongside Brooks. Brooks, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing absolutely better now. As you know, a little bit ago, I wasn't doing as better. So we got our starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. So we're going to turn it over to our PA announcer here, and we'll get things rolling here with the soccer matchup between the Dakota Fusion and LC Aris. All right, well, that was a fun experience, and welcome. We are getting ready to go here on this particular contest. I need to check one of our microphone levels really quick, and it looks like it is working, so maybe can you go tap on that one really quick? Nothing. Let's see here. All right, I guess we'll be down a microphone then, and all right, so today you get myself and you get our good buddy Brooks here, and we've already asked you how you're doing today, and you answered that question successfully. So question 2 here, what do you think of this matchup here? You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dakota Fusion's pace of play, because I remember the last time I was on the pitch with you. It was a little slower than I think they would have liked it to be.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see whether they corrected that or not.
I think you'll be in for a surprise. They had a really fun game last Saturday. They defeated Sioux Falls Thunder by the score of I think it was 5-4 or 6-5. I think it was 6-5. I'd have to go back and look, to be honest with you. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we are trying to adjust these rosters in numerical order. So if you can enjoy the game for a little bit until I can write these down, then we can get things rolling here. That's for sure. Well, let's see here, and we are underway. And I suppose I should do my part in hitting these buttons when I'm supposed to. So once again, the Dakota Fusion in their black jerseys today, and LCR is coming in what looks like the Dakota Fusion colors. So don't get those two confused if you would be so kind to do so. We matched up our scoreboard so that it would help you remember who's who a little bit, since most of our Fusion fans are used to the yellow jerseys for the Dakota Fusion.
And you know what? I was also duped in the beginning as well when I was panning on to the players for the starting lineups. I was like, okay, Dakota Fusion's yellow, but they're not clapping. So I'm like, what's going on? Then I did look at the scoreboard, and your scoreboard was very helpful.
Yeah, see, I knew that scoreboard would come in handy in some way, sooner or later. So we got about half of these LCRS roster guys filled out in numerical order now, so we just got about half more to go. And let's see here.
Until then, they can just enjoy some pretty good camera work.
Yeah, pretty good camera work and some awesome back and forth random commentary when I'm looking at a roster instead of looking at the field of play, and I'm still trying to make this as entertaining as possible. How would you say I'm doing so far?
I think you're doing great. And notice I didn't say excellent camera work. Room for improvement. Because last game I did miss the first goal. There was a lot of them, so didn't really miss much.
Oh, don't even worry about that, man. No, you're good. I received 0 complaints about that, so.
Well, I appreciate that for the viewers watching on YouTube.
It wasn't really Brooks's fault. Something hit the camera, and then he lost grip of it, and right when the goal happened. So it wasn't really his fault.
It was poor timing, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If it's anybody's fault, it's timing's fault. We'll put it that way. So. Just got the rosters like merely seconds before we came on with our pregame show here, so we are scrambling a little bit. Looked online, they had all the names, but no roster numbers, or jersey numbers, I meant to say. So
Yeah, that does us no good up here in the booth because, I mean, it's hard sometimes to see their numbers, let alone faces. And, I mean, we're not really avid fans of Aris, so we're more Dakota Fusion. And that's going to be a shot in the net, and that's going to be a goal for Dakota Fusion.
Already on the board. See if we can spot who got that one there. I just need to catch his jersey number. That's all I need to do, and I can tell you who it is. Looks like number 17. Is that right? Yeah, number 17. That is Sebastian Acuna, who got the goal for the Dakota Fusion. They're up 1-0 now here as we approach the 5th minute of play, and I just have a couple more players to write in, so they couldn't have waited to score just a little bit longer. But
you know what we say up here? Timing, not great. Timing's never great.
But, yeah, whether you're tuning in and cheering on the Fusion or tuning in and cheering in LCRS, I know our audience is about 50-50 on that, so maybe 60-40 in favor of LCRS. We wish your team the best of luck here in this contest. And once again, the LCRS kind of have an up and down season. Dakota Fusion have dropped a couple of close games, but man, they're right there in the hunt for a home playoff spot, and the win here today would certainly help matters in securing that. It doesn't officially secure it, but it certainly goes a long way to securing it. Let's put it that way. So there's a potential that for the first time in Dakota Fusion history, they could not only be in the playoffs, but host a home game. And the only reason why they're not the number one team in the conference is because Duluth FC not only has the head-to-head against the Dakota Fusion, but they are absolutely undefeated. They have not lost to anybody. They are a perfect 10-0 with 30 points. Dakota Fusion in second place with 19 points. So there's an 11-point spread between first and second. And then Med City's right in the mix, as is, I can't remember who the other team was in the top four. But the top four, the fourth team and the fifth team are separated by, there's not enough games for the 15 to catch up if they were to win out and the fourth team were to lose out. So that kind of gives you an idea how the Dakota Fusion season has gone this year. And it's been nice to see them improve over the years. And I think we got these rosters in numeric order now. So all I got to do is remember which team is which. All right, so in the goal for the Dakota Fusion here is Kodai Tusuki, and in the goal for LCRS is number 27, Jacob Halvik. So those are your two goaltenders there, and they've already snuck one past Halvik. Here in the 7th minute of play now here at Jim Gata Stadium, and I am ready to rock and roll. Are you ready to rock and roll now?
I'm ready to rock and roll. I kind of, did the call on the goal there, kind of not. I don't know the names to the numbers as quite as well as you do, but.
Yeah. No, you did a good job there. At least you didn't miss it, right? At least nothing hit your camera this time.
And it got on camera. I made sure to check the scoreboard just in case I didn't get my colors right the first time. And, yeah, we were good to go. Called the right goal for the right team. And, yeah, Fusion has a 1-0 lead.
8th minute of play now here at Jim Gata Stadium. Once again, LCRs moving from right to left in the yellow jerseys, and Dakota Fusion moving from left to right in the black jerseys. They're going to try and move it up there, but it's taken away by the defenseman, number 13, Guillermo Roman, into the lineup, and now the Dakota Fusion will try and put it right back off the foot there of Yusu Kanami, and it's picked up there easily by Halvik, the goalie for LCRS. Once again, Mike Mason alongside Brooks here, myself working on the play-by-play and the scoreboard and the graphics, and we got Brooks on color and camera today, and we certainly appreciate you tuning in, doing your part, watching the game. And I have to admit, the first 8 minutes of this one has been super on the fly, and I think we did a pretty good job of being on the fly there.
Yeah, we did. Considering the circumstances of what we were tasked with just minutes before the game started, I think it's going pretty smoothly.
That was Rashad O'Gunn over on the far side who had an opportunity, but then it ricocheted off his foot in the wrong direction. And get the goal announcement from our PA announcer here in just a moment. Scoring the goal. Scoring the goal for your Dakota Fusion. Number 17, Sebastian Acuna.
Moorhead's got you working overtime right here, doing the game on Magnitude Sports and the PA.
Yeah, I've done more than that. We got Janice working the outside scoreboard, so that's one less thing off my plate today. And she's been doing an excellent job. She's been doing it the last 4 or 5 games now here for the Fusion, and she hasn't missed a beat. So Aris controlling it on their own end. Now they'll try an up ball there, but that one's poked out of bounds there by Acuna. So Sebastian Acuna makes it 1-0 in the 5th minute of play. And Aris is looking to respond, but right now, Fusion not making it too easy. If there's one thing I like about this matchup the most is it is very easy to see white on black numbers and black numbers on yellow. It's very, very easy. So I should have no problems identifying people today like we have in a couple of the games this season, but most of them have been fairly good. That one off the...
Makes our jobs a lot easier all the way up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not standing right on the field to see everything, so it's a little bit harder.
LCRs will take that away, and no call. Play continues. Oh, wait, no, there was a call. I didn't hear the whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
I heard a brief whistle, but
okay.
There's a lot going on up here.
Yeah.
So I heard a whistle, but I didn't know if it was a whistle. Ends up being a whistle.
A free kick here for LCRs. They'll work it over to the far side, and they'll try and bring it up the field. With it there was Mateus Mora. They only have, I think it's 14 players on the roster today. 11 starters plus 3 or 4 reserves. So pretty much anybody could be out there at any time here. They got 3 reserves on the bench right now. 2 of them players. The other one, I think, is a backup goaltender. So 11 on the field and 3 on the bench. 14 altogether. That's
so they might be pretty thin if anything out of the ordinary happens.
Halvik will boot that one up to the near side. LCRs will head it up, but it's right down to the Fusion where it's chested down there by Dakota Fusion's Brandon Gasper, the midfielder. He'll drop it back all the way onto the foot of Ogaro. And now a couple passes later, they'll work it up to the far side. I think that might be Bishop. Yes, Ethan Bishop, number 20. That's one that I have memorized. And Ethan Bishop with a centering pass, and the header off the post, and the rebound is put up over the crossbar, and a couple of great chances there for the Dakota Fusion, but they couldn't cash in. Some nice saves by Jacob Halvik, one of them assisted by the post.
And it almost went in, but, the ball has to fully cross the line there.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And that was incredible.
As we enter the 13th minute of play here, it'll be a corner kick, our first corner kick of the game. It'll be taken here by Kenshiro Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi will send it in. And headed by O'Gunn, and it's tipped around in front of the net there, and Calvin got a hand on it, and one of his teammates got a foot on it to send it out to the near side, but O'Gunn with a nice opportunity and up close off that corner kick from Yamaguchi. And now the throw-in here from Acuna. Acuna will throw it down the near sideline. It's headed out of bounds there by LCR's Sebastian Acosta. And now it's sent right back in again. They'll drop it back all the way onto the foot of Ben Colborn. Colborn will switch it over there for Ogaro. Ogaro over to Bishop. Bishop sends it back onto the foot of Colburn. Colburn now sends it over to Ogaro. Ogaro looking upfield. He will deliver it to O'Gunn. Ogaro to O'Gunn. Try and say that 3 times fast.
I won't. I'll take your word for it.
Offside is the call. And that'll be a free kick for the Fusion. as we just now slip into the 14th minute of play. Throw in from the far side. Ethan Bishop will take it. Be easy to spot Ethan Bishop. It looks like he's the only one who's rolled his sleeves up on the jersey. So
it's a hot one out there.
Yeah,
I'll have to check my weather app when I have a chance. But
we'll get our Brooks weather forecast coming up soon here. And Colville making at least 2, if not 3 saves on that sequence of plays in front of the net. And the Dakota Fusion applying the pressure early here. But a nice job by Mateus Seymour. Let me look at Seymour, number 17. Now they'll get it onto the foot of Roman. Roman will spin around, being guarded closely there by Burgos, and out of bounds. And I think that's going to be a Fusion throw-in, and it will be.
You know, the weather app is saying 78 degrees, feels like 80. But I was walking to my car and back, and I'm saying it feels more like 90. So I understand why the sleeves are up. With the sun now, you know, it's a lot hotter than it should be.
According to your phone, it's 78 right now, you're saying?
Yeah.
So down on the turf, then it's probably closer to 90. There's a shot from the top of the box and a save on the right shin pad there for Halvik. Didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're right on. Yeah, 90 on the turf.
Turf always pulls in heat, makes things warmer, that's for sure.
And that means both teams got to stay hydrated, especially for Aris, who they don't have very many people who can go into the game. So if there's cramps or something, they got to be careful about that.
78, but, you know, like Brooks has said on a couple of occasions, it's a little bit warmer down there with hardly any clouds in the sky and plus being on a turf field. So there's the possibility of the referee calling some water breaks in this one. And I think the best defenseman here for Aris right now is their goalie, Jacob Halvik.
Well, he's had to do a lot of things himself out here.
Yeah, if the game ended right now, he would get Defensive Player of the Game. Let's put it that way. Closing in on the 17th minute of play. Ogun tips it back out here for Acuna. Acuna will cross it. Aris will get it away, and Bishop will watch it go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Fusion. Bishop will get it back to Ogaro. And Ogaro will send it into the middle there for Gasper. Gasper, a quick shot up near side there on the foot of James Bolger, and that goes out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in. Ball boy quickly gets it to Acuna. Acuna will drop it in there for Ogaro. Ogaro will center it in. Onto the foot of Yamaguchi. Now back to Ogaro. Ogaro will look to drop it back potentially. No, he will not. He'll hold possession and move it over there. I'm not sure who that is. I think, I'm sorry, I mixed up 4 and 6. It was Gasper, and he sent it over to Ogaro. I mixed up those two players. My apologies. And now they'll get it onto the foot here of Sebastian Acosta. And Acosta will drop it back to his defense. Touched up there by Fernandez Ortega. And now back over to the far side. Calling for it here on the near side is Seymour. They will move it upfield instead. They'll get it onto the foot of Isaac Peterson. And now Aris trying to make a move. It's Ben Pina. And Pina getting around the defender. He might have an opportunity. He tried to center it, but it was deflected out to the far sideline where it was scooped up there by Eston Eberlein, if I'm saying that correctly. And now Aris is putting on the pressure. Aris, of course, for those who don't know, come out of the state of Wisconsin. These two teams met earlier this season, and the Dakota Fusion won that matchup. The only team that the Dakota Fusion has swept the season series is the Sioux Falls Thunder. They have a chance to do that to 2 teams here today. And right now, they're in a good position as Ogun comes up with his team leading 1-0. He'll try and feed it up. His teammate was onside, but the Aris defense got there first. And now it's touched up here by Acosta. And now right back midfield, chested down, and once again, I didn't hear a whistle, but there must have been. My listening device on my headset must not be as good as yours, Brooks.
A pretty evenly matched up game so far. Dakota Fusion's had 1 or 2 more chances, but it's mostly stayed neutral outside of the score.
Pino with the kick, and now from up top, it got deflected up over the crossbar. I believe it was Gonzalez who initially took the shot, but it deflected off somebody, and I'm not sure who, and then it went sky high, and it'll be a corner kick here for LCRs. So LCRs will get their first corner kick opportunity from the near side. And the ball is sent in across the face of the goal. First touch there by the Fusion, out about 40 yards. And LCR's defense tries to control it, and they might have another chance to do so as they pop it back in there. But a nice move by Ed Burgos, and now a free kick for the Fusion. They don't waste any time. That one was intended for O'Gunn, but it was about 20 yards over his head and in front of him, and not a chance for him to catch up. So another ball will come into play. And another free kick here in the backfield. Free kick taken by Colborne. A couple passes later, Colborne will get it right back. Colborne will shift fields. Now that's O'Garl. Yep, I got that one right. O'Gunn back to O'Garl. And O'Garl will send it up. And that is Yamaguchi, or Tsukunami, excuse me. And Tsukunami had it taken off his feet as he tried to turn the corner there, but the LCR's defense held strong. Throw in from Bishop. And it's popped up. And there's no goalie, and now there's a whistle. And that will be a free kick here for LCRs. And they'll get to send it the opposite direction of the goal, which is always a good thing. One goal in this game so far. It was Sebastian Acuna scoring in the 5th minute. And that's the only scoring so far. Here we are about 15 minutes later, and it's still 1-0. Nice passing, but that pass is intercepted by Yamaguchi. And then LCRs gets it right back. Right now it's on the foot of Fernandez Ortega, excuse me. Roman with it. Roman will get it right back and touch it right away. And they'll drop it back to the defense. So they're good at passing in the backfield. They just need to advance it over midfield and try that on the opposite side of the field here. But it is a good way to wear down the Dakota Fusion defense. And it only takes 1 goal to win it, although for LCRs it's going to take 2 goals at this point in time to win it. But those short, quick passes are exactly what can wear a defense down. And LCR is doing a good job of that so far. Nice cut through all the defenders there. It's Ortega with it. And now a centering pass, and that one's across the face of the goal. Ethan Bishop is the closest one there for the Fusion. He'll pop it up. It'll be controlled by LCRs. They'll tap it for the foot of Seymour there. Seymour will lead it down the far side. Bishop challenging. Right now it's on the foot of Marteus Mara. I think that's Mara with the centering pass. And the header off to the side, and it's a goal for LCR, scored by Herman Fernandez Ortega. And we're all knotted up at 1-1. That goal coming in the 23rd minute of play. So we were just talking about how it would take 2 goals for LCRs to win it. Now they're halfway there. And once again, those short little passes wearing down a defense, and it eventually created an opportunity for them to score. And getting that goal once again is Herman Fernandez Ortega. Scoring the goal for LCRs in the 23rd minute, number 23, Herman Fernandez Ortega. So all knotted up at 1-1. Dakota Fusion applying the pressure early and getting an early goal. And then most of the play was down at the end of the field. It is now. And Aris was able to chip away with some short passes, play a little keep away in the backfield, and eventually work their way up the field. And that eventually ended up on the foot of Ortega, who would be able to put it into the back of the net. Now the Fusion have a corner kick. We'll see where they place this one here. A couple guys way back. They'll place it right in front of the net, and it's headed right back out to that far sideline. And it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a Fusion throw-in. And he'll drop the ball for Ethan Bishop to make the toss. Ethan Bishop, the brother of McKenna Bishop, who plays for the Dakota Fusion women's team. We saw them in action this past Sunday. It wasn't the best day for the Dakota Fusion women. I'll just leave it at that. They got a couple of tough home games recently. That one is into the back of the net. I think it was O'Gunn, and it was. 2-1. O'Gunn on the header. And the Dakota Fusion have the lead as that goal comes in the 25th minute.
So 2 quick goals back-to-back here. And both teams moving the ball pretty well.
And that was the 25th minute. So 2 minutes after Ortega scored for Aris, O'Gunn gives the lead right back to the Dakota Fusion. Scoring your goal for the Dakota Fusion, number 12 on the header, Rashad O'Gunn. And speaking of Ethan and McKenna Bishop, I know that some family of the Bishops, family of the family, let's put it that way, are in the stands tonight. And they are probably very happy to hear my voice say Fusion goal, because they didn't get any Fusion goal announcements on Sunday. So I know that they're probably a little bit disappointed with the outcome of that game, but rightfully so. And right now they got to be a little bit happy. They are, I want to say Tennessee, I think is where they're from, and they are going back to Tennessee at some point after today's game, if I remember our conversation right. So that one, nice save by Tizuki, and that'll go over the crossbar for an LCR's corner kick. So 5th, 23rd, and 25th minute, the goals. 5th and 25th for the Fusion, and the 23rd minute for LCRs. And a corner kick from the far side, a chance for LCRs to create an opportunity here to knot this one up again. They'll put it right in. It's in a good position, but a nice job there by James Bolger to head it out. And he misfired there. I think he was going to take a shot for it. And now, coming down the near sideline, it was O'Gunn, the goal scorer. Got it off the header, and he'll go out of bounds. Tried to lift it, keep it in bounds and upfield, but won't go. So now taking the throw-in here for Aris is Mateus Seymour. They'll drop it back onto the foot of Roman. Roman now over to Acosta. They'll drop it back onto the foot of Ortega. Roman has it again, making some nice moves around the defense. He'll drop it back, look for that easy pass. And Roman will get it right back, and the moment he touches it, before I could say anything, they pass it to the third player. I mean, that's how quick the passes are going here, and you thought basketball was tough to do. I've called some NBA-style high school basketball games as far as passing is concerned, and this one's maybe a little bit quicker. They'll get it onto the foot there of Acosta. Acosta will drop it back just shy of midfield where it's touched up on there by Olsen. Quentin Olsen, number 14 for the LCRs. Divide that number in half. Ben Pina, number 7, is on the ball. And now the Dakota Fusion get a loose ball. And they'll curve one out. What a pass. They get it onto the foot there of Sebastian Acuna. Acuna trying to do something there, but some defense there from Ortega will take care of that threat. And now Aris will patiently bring it back as Roman working with it. Aris wanting a whistle, and they finally get one. And I did hear that particular whistle. I don't know, our field microphone was working before we went on the air, and now it's not working, so I don't know what happened, but maybe when it fell out of the window, it was done for.
That could have been the icing on the cake right there.
Yeah. That's only the second microphone I've lost in 7 years, so that if we did end up losing that one, it'd be the second one in 7 years, so I'm not too concerned about that. That's a pretty good rate, I would say.
Yeah, one every 3.5 years, definitely not bad. Definitely outlasted the warranty.
Yeah, no kidding. And I don't even think I bought a warranty for it because I usually take pretty good care of my stuff. I can make it outlast any warranty, so no sense spending the money on that warranty, but long ball up to Ethan Bishop, and he was right in line with that last defender, but he could not quite control it. It'll go off his foot out of bounds over the end line for a goal kick here for Halvik and Aris. So both goalies kind of in a teal turquoise kind of outfit. And we have a water break, so that will stop the clock. All right, so we have our first water break. They'll stop the clock at 30:20, give or take about 6 seconds. All right, so our first water break of the game comes 30 minutes in, and once again, your scoring recap so far. Acuna with the first goal for the Fusion to make it 1-0 in the 5th minute. Got that opportunity right in front of the net. And then the Fusion got, I don't know, say 5 or 6 other opportunities right in front of the net, and a nice job by Jacob Halvik to keep the game 1-0. It could easily be 4-1 right now in favor of Dakota Fusion, if not 5-1, if they would have capitalized on all those chances right in front of the net. But like I said, Jacob Halvik did a fantastic job, and he was able to keep all but one of those out. And got to give credit where credit's due there. And then Ortega for Aris would tie it up in the 23rd minute with a goal of his own. And then 2 minutes later in the 25th minute, it would be Rashad Gunn on a centering pass. Or a cross, I should say. He would get a header into the back of the net to make it 2-1. That's where we sit right now at the 30-minute mark, 31st minute of play, I should say. And our clock will start again. And a free kick here for Aris. Having some trouble deciding where to place the free kick at, or to spot the ball at. Looks like they'll spot it where it's at now, just in front of that 40-yard line. So about 70 yards out from the goal, Aris is going to. Bishop will get a head on that. And back from the water break here, Aris putting the pressure on early. Mateus Morrow. Centering pass intercepted by Bishop. He'll clear it out, but it's immediately touched up there by Roman. Roman will drop it back, and LCRs will reset. They'll switch fields. Get it onto the foot of Ortega, the goal scorer. Now they'll quickly pop it over to Seymour. Seymour will make a couple moves. And get it onto the foot there of Isaac Peterson. And now it's taken away here by Bolger. And Bolger will send it near side. And on the foot of Ed Burgos. And Burgos will send it in, head it out, and LCRs will control it. It's Sebastian Acosta. A couple passes later, they'll send it over to the far side. And now that's put up. Ethan Bishop is there. And quickly retaken by Ben Pina. Ortega now onto the foot of Seymour. Seymour tried to send it upfield, but it slipped off his foot. And right there is Burgos with the throw, and he'll give it up for Acuna. And Acuna will drop it back onto the foot of Colborn. Colborn will shift it over O'Gara. O'Gara will send it up. Put it onto the foot there. Gasper back to O'Gara now. And O'Gara gets it to Rashad O'Gunn. O'Gunn will drop it back to Colborn. Colborn looking over near side here for Acuna. Acuna slips a pass through the open lane. Nice job there, and a centering pass. And now O'Gunn looking for an opportunity. Slips it out here for Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi, and a header, and a foot save by the right foot by Halvik. What a save by the LCR's goalie. And like I said just a moment ago, you got to give credit where credit's due. This could easily be a lopsided game instead of a 2-1 game right now. But Halvik doing his part to keep his team in this match. As that one goes up high and over the crossbar. Did you expect a goal there?
You know, it was a little high.
No, I mean the one right before it, not the one that went high.
Oh, no, I did not, no.
Alciaris will work it again. All right, O'Gara will touch up on it here and set it up. He'll send it over to Colborn. Colborn looking upfield. He's got a couple guys. He'll take the shorter pass, get it onto the foot there of Gasper. Gasper will bring it up. He'll quickly work it over to Bishop. Bishop drops it back to O'Gara. O'Gara sends it onto the foot there of Bulger. And Bulger will control it just in front of midfield. He'll scoot it off here for Colborn. Colborn will get it onto the foot of Yamaguchi. And that one goes through the foot, or through the legs, I should say, of Acuna. And Acuna tried to catch up to it. And now they're trying to make a centering pass here. It's kind of a loose ball. No one with clear control at the moment. And it'll go out of bounds. And I think that should be a Fusion throw-in. And it will be. And it'll quickly go back to Colborn. Colborn sends it over to, that's Gasper, I believe. Nope, that's O'Gara, excuse me. Now up to Bishop. Bishop, quick drop there to Gasper. Gasper will make a charge towards the net, try and feed a pass through. He's got O'Gunn. And O'Gunn has a couple of defenders to get around, and he gets tripped up and no call. And now back the other way comes Alciaris. And some quick moving action here, as that pass was intended for Ben Penna. But it'll go out of bounds, and Ethan Bishop will toss it in once again here for the Fusion. He'll get it right back onto the foot of, that's Colborn with it now. Colborn nearly lost it. Now he has a couple defenders to worry about, and that ball will luckily escape onto the foot of Acuna. And now Bulger sends it over there for O'Gara. And O'Gara will send it up, but it's headed out there by the LCR's defense. I believe that's O'Gunn trying to control it there. And he's going up against Roman. And it was a gun against Roman. Lead ball. And that pass was intended for Peterson, and Peterson's in the area, but he'll watch it go out of bounds. I think that's an LCR's throw-in, and it will be. Seymour will take the toss. He'll look right, now go left. Seymour will get it right back. He'll drop it back here onto the foot of the goal scorer, Ortega, and Ortega will send it back into the middle of the field. Now they'll switch fields over to the far sideline. (2-1) here as we enter the 38th minute of play here at Jim Gata Stadium in Moorhead, Minnesota, between this NPSL matchup between the Dakota Fusion FC and LCRS FC. And it's been a fun one so far, 2-1. Tried that nifty little pass there by Peterson to try and get it past Acuna, but Acuna's like, not going to be that easy, buddy. And I like those quick passes, and now that might result in something here. Peterson has a little bit of space. Centering pass. Turn. Spinning. It's Penna, and he cannot get it to go. Ricocheted away by O'Garo. O'Garo back to Bishop, and now running up on it is O'Gunn. And O'Gunn tried to get by the defender, but left the ball behind. And Aris will get it back. Centering pass was blocked and deflected into the middle of the field where Bolger will shift it out. Come all the way back here to the goal scorer Ortega. Yes, a defenseman scored the goal. I'm not kidding you. So LCRs once again kind of playing short pass keep away here in the backfield, and now O'Gunn has it. And O'Gunn will try and shake off a defender. And I think there's going to be a holding call possibly on LCRs. And it will be a free kick for the Fusion. That free kick will come from 25 yards out on the far side of the goal. And we have a LCRs player down. It's Guillermo Romo, who is slow to get up. And hopefully it's nothing serious. Looks like our medical staff, the guy in the green shirt there, is going to run out and check up on him. And the clock will continue to roll here as we move into the 40th minute. So this will probably add a minute or so of some stoppage time at halftime. Once again, the goal scored in the 5th minute by Sebastian Acuna and make it 1-0. And then Herman Fernandez Ortega would tie it up at 1-1 in the 23rd minute. And then 2 minutes later, Rashad O'Gunn on a centering pass that he was able to head into the back of the net to make it 2-1 in the 25th minute of play. Ethan Bishop will set up the free kick from the far side. So right now, LCRS is playing a man short. It's 11 versus 10, or 10 versus 9, however you want to look at it. And that one just missed. It went far right. And another opportunity there, but no save needed to be made that time by Halvik. It just went far right. And now we have a Fusion player down. Looks like a cramp. They might just have to stretch out his leg, and now it's even at 10-10 once again. Actually, no, LCR has the man advantage until that man gets back onto the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, LCR has the one-man advantage right now. And now a penalty there is, or not a penalty, but just a foul, as Ben Colborn was taken down. Fusion trying to, they have the right idea for some great passes, but the LCR's defense is just in the right place at the right time to stop all of those potential passes that could lead to potential breakaways for the Fusion. So Alciaris will work it in the defense. Ortega has it now. Ortega will scoot it over here onto the foot of Acosta. And Acosta will be challenged there by Yamaguchi. He'll go out of bounds for a Alciaris throw-in. Seymour feeds it inside there on the foot of Peterson. Peterson trying a nice pass, but the pass is intercepted, and the Fusion will try and take control of it. O'Gunn has it at the moment. He'll drop it back there for Bishop. And now O'Gara into the middle there for Colborne. Colborne gives it back to O'Gara. O'Gara will scoot it up there for Gasper. Gasper will take it up the field. Tried to feed a pass to O'Gunn, but it went over his right foot, and it'll be stopped just before the end. Well, actually, it will go over the end line, and it'll just be a simple goal kick here for Alciaris. So we're entering the 43rd minute. We should, in the next minute or so approximately, get the stoppage time signal here to let you know how much stoppage time there will be in the first half. Coach for LCR is going up to talk to that midfield official about something. And he doesn't appear to be satisfied with the answer he's getting at the moment. Not exactly sure what they're chatting about, but it is back to a full 11-on-11 now. Out of bounds. I think it's a Fusion throw-in. I was going to say LCR's throw-in because it looked like to me that Ethan Bishop was the last one to touch it, but referee will say no. Bishop will get it to O'Gunn. O'Gunn will lose it out of bounds over the end line, and that'll be a goal kick here for Alciaris. Oh, no, it will not. It'll be a corner kick for the Fusion. All right, so now I've gotten back-to-back possessions mixed up, and we're even now. So taking it from the far side is Kenshiro Yamaguchi, midfielder. Yamaguchi will step into it. Nice curve, sends it in, popped up, and Bishop tried on a kind of like a scissor kick almost. Couldn't connect on it. It'll come loose and sent back up forward by Acuna there. And Acuna will try and defend it here on the near sideline. Does so successfully. Gets it to O'Gara. O'Gara will drop it back. That's going to be sent in. And O'Gunn is there, but so is the LCR's defense. And now the two teams scrambling for ball possession and a shot up a little bit high. I think that was Gasper who took the shot. No, it was not Gasper. Gasper's a little bit further back right now. It was actually Ed Burgos who took the shot. So nice chip pass inside. And now down the near sideline, here comes Gasper, and it'll go out of bounds. And it'll be an LCR's throw-in. All right, well, we'll have... Let's say it's 2 minutes of stoppage time here. And no, it'll be 19 seconds of stoppage time. Stop the clock. So that would be halftime, 2-1. Once again, your recap here. Acuna with the goal to make it 1-0 in favor of the Fusion in the 5th minute. Ortega for Alciaris would tie it up at 1-1 in the 23rd minute. And O'Gunn would give the lead right back to the Fusion a couple minutes later with a 2-1 header goal in the 25th minute. Brooks, first half done, 1 half to go. You mentioned earlier in the pregame that you're looking forward to see what kind of pace and if they can correct some of the things. What are your thoughts?
It was a lot better than the last game, and they've been playing very well. They're passing. That's the story of the game so far for both teams, actually. Precise passing, and they're doing a great job, both teams, and I'm excited for an awesome second half.
We should have a good one. We should have a dandy on our hands. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a break. It's about a 12-minute halftime. And then we'll have the second half coming up for you here in just All right, second half, just seconds away from getting underway here. Is the LCRs will have the opening kick here in half number 2, trailing 2-1. And a correction on that first goal, I said it was scored by Kuna. It was actually scored by Yu Sukanami. Otherwise, I got goals 2 and 3 correct. So 1-0 by a goal by Yu Sukanami in the 5th minute. 1-1 by a goal from Ortega for LCRs in the 23rd minute, and 2-1 on a goal by Rashad Ogun in the 25th minute to give the Fusion their 2-1 halftime lead. Don't worry about it. It'll just go on its own in a second. There we go. So our clock is 13 seconds ahead, so we'll start our clock in 13 seconds from right now. So we'll still show halftime there for about 10 more seconds, and then our clock will be in sync here. Actually, it'll be right about now. Now our clock will be right on when it appears on the screen. So now the Fusion and the Black going from right to left, and LCRs going towards the sun, left to right in the yellow jerseys. And our clock is about a half second off. It's a half, yeah, but I mean a half second's better than a full second, so. Rashad Ogun, who had the second goal for the Fusion. And now it comes all the way back. And they'll drop it all the way back here to Tsuki. Kodai Tsuki is the first time I've said his name outside of starting lineups today. He hasn't had a whole lot of action. Fusion alternate quite frequently between Tsuki and their other goalie, Colville. Probably more frequently than I've seen other teams rotate through their goalies, which is not a bad thing. It's just something that I've noticed. And now over on the far side, now they'll work it back into the middle. And now it's taken away, at least momentarily it was. Ethan Bishop will touch up on it, send it up to Ogun. Ogun will have it poked away. Bishop will chase after it. He'll tail it back there for O'Garro. O'Garro will switch sides, get it onto the foot of Ben Colborn. Colborn will switch it up, and I think it deflected off his teammate's foot, and LCRS was able to pick it back up.
You can tell it's getting a little less chilly out there. Bishop now putting his sleeves back down instead of having them up.
Yeah, and thankfully I recognize the white band on his elbow, and I can still recognize him with no problem, so. Of course, Ethan Bishop has taken 99% of the throw-ins this season for this Fusion, so that's another way you can identify him. And inside there with it is Ed Burgos, and now Yamaguchi again. Or, I'm sorry, Tsunaki. Yu Sukanami getting 11 and 18 mixed up. Now they get it onto the foot there of Gasper. Gasper sends it out far side. Acuna works it up. Yamaguchi gets it back there to Acuna. Acuna over the end line, and what's the call? LCR's player slow to get up on the end line there. I'm not sure if it's a goal kick or a throw-in or a corner kick, and it looks like it'll be a corner kick here for the Dakota Fusion, and it appears to be Yamaguchi who will take the kick. And we still have a player down here as we continue to roll through the 49th minute of play. So this will probably result in some stoppage time here as the trainer for the medical trainer here at Jim Gotta Stadium will now hustle over there to check up on him. Yeah, he went down and he never got back up. I mean, he's laying down right now and he has not gotten back up from that position here. And whenever we get back to action here, it will be a corner kick for the Dakota Fusion from that far corner, with the Fusion leading 2-0. And now one of the LCRS guys is warming up on the sideline here. And I would take a stab in the dark guess that it could be Eric Miles who might come in for the injured player, and he's up and being helped off the field now. I can't quite catch the jersey numbers. It looks like 17 or 18 possibly. But whoever it is, I hope that he's okay. That corner kick headed up over the crossbar. So they've taken that LCR's player to a bench to the right side of the Fusion goal to look up on. It looks like they're checking something with his ankles possibly. It might be Gonzalez for LCRs that they're checking up on, but I can't say that for sure. I don't want to frighten any. No, I was wrong. Gonzalez is on the field right now. And so is number 17, Seymour. So I'm not sure who that is over on the far side, unless it was 13. I'll try and scan some jerseys on the field and see if I can do a process of elimination for you. It's not 13 because he's on the field. Dakota Fusion trying to make a move now, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Fusion. If they could have connected on that header pass, that would have been a beautiful header onto the foot there of Yusukanami. And now going out to the far side is Yamaguchi. And that one popped up over the crossbar. Be a goal kick. And right now the LCR is playing short until right now. And now checking in is indeed Eric Miles, number 28. He's got the bright pink shoes on. You won't be able to miss him. Well, the good news is the injured LCR's player is now walking on his own. It kind of looks like he's favoring his right foot or right leg. It kind of looks like he's trying to keep some weight off that right leg. So like we said, we hope he's okay. And checking in for the Fusion here is number 10, Kai Pritchard. Substitutions for both teams. Checking in for the Fusion is number 10, Kai Pritchard. And checking in for LC Aris, number 28, Eric Miles. Eric Miles challenging there on Colborne. Now loose ball in the middle. It's picked up there by Gasper. Gasper sends it in. Shot on and into the back of the net. It's a Fusion goal. And they take a 3-1 lead. And Kai Pritchard, who just came into the game, puts it into the back of the net off his left foot. And that comes in the 53rd minute. And it's 3-1 in favor of the Fusion as Kai Pritchard gets the goal in the 53rd minute. Scoring the goal for your Fusion in the 53rd minute, number 10, Kai Pritchard. All right, the Fusion have the ball again. Over on the far side there to Sebastian Acuna, and Acuna will send it way up. Headed out, Ogun will chase after it. He'll watch it go out of bounds, and he'll wait for the ball boy to give him a ball so they can keep action going here. And Ogun will tap it back here for Ethan Bishop. So Bishop still with it. He'll take a running throw and throw it in there almost like it's a corner kick. Pritchard tries again, and he goes a little bit wide right this time. That, if he would have connected on that, that may have been the fastest I've seen any soccer player at any level score back-to-back goals. I did see in the women's game on Sunday a player score 3 back-to-back goals, but they weren't in a matter of time that was like anything super quick.
And talk about making the most of your minutes right there for Pritchard.
Yeah, no kidding.
It makes an immediate impact for the Fusion.
Comes off the bench. I think he came into the game at about the 50th or 51st minute, if I remember correctly. And that's one thing I don't write down is what time a player comes into the game, but I do write down what time a player scores. And it only took him 2 or 3 minutes to put that first one into the net. And here we are a minute after he scores, and he almost, or maybe just 2 minutes after he scores, and he puts another one into the net already. Or almost did, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he only scored one, but he was very close, making his presence known.
3 different players for the Fusion scoring 3 goals, and they're up 3-1. Free kick from just inside 40 yards away from the net. And a whistle here as the official will have a discussion with how LCRs and Dakota Fusion are setting up there. I think it's Peterson on the kick here. And I was mistaken. They'll try and head it in, and it'll go out of bounds. LCRs wanting a whistle there, but they're not getting one. And had they gotten a whistle, it potentially could have been a penalty kick for LCRs because it was inside the goal box there. Bishop will drop it back here for O'Garo. O'Garo all the way back here to Tsuki. And now O'Garo gets it back. O'Garo feeds it up into the middle there. And now coming off to the near side. And they'll feed it up for Ethan Bishop. It's a one-on-one race there, and catching up to it first is Gonzalez for RCRs. Colborne dishes it back there for, I'm sorry, that was Bolger dishing it back to Colborne. And now Colborne has it again. Now Bolger has it. Now I got him right. And now they'll feed it out to the near side here for Bishop. Bishop puts a foot on it, right up to the goal line there where it's touched up by LCRs. And over on the far side, keeping it in is Acuna. Acuna trying to make a move. Drops it back for Bolger. Bolger tried to shift fields. I think that pass was actually intended for Bishop, but it was Gasper who got his foot on it. Sent it back over to the far sideline, and now LCRs controls. And LCRs making a move. I'm not sure who was on the far side there making the move. It was a little bit too far away for me to see. But that ball will escape all the way back to Tsuki. Bishop. And that one's poked out of bounds by Bishop. Nice defensive play, and it'll be a throw-in for LCRs here on the near side. And that one will chip in, and centering pass blocked back out to the near sideline, and a throw-in. And a whistle, and we have another player down for LCRs. And it's a goal kick here for Dakota Fusion as we hit the 60th minute of play now. And we'll get underway. They'll move it into the middle of the field here for O'Gara. O'Gara quickly over here to Gasper. Gasper on the near sideline. And he'll try and move it up. Now he'll drop it back to O'Gara. O'Gara will look to switch fields, and he decides to keep it. And now he will switch fields over to the far side there for Colborne. Colborne will flip it over, and he'll get it right back. Colborne looking around. And finds the window and gets it up onto the foot of Gasper. Gasper quickly over to Bishop. Bishop will drop it back for O'Gara. O'Gara sends it over to Colborne. Colborne with some space. Feeds it over far side. He'll get it right back to Colborne. Colborne feeds the window there for Yamaguchi. And Yamaguchi sends it over here near side for Ethan Bishop. And Bishop sends it back to O'Gara. O'Gara will send it in. Far side, that's Kai Pritchard with a header inside, and it's taken away there by Aris. Some tough and tumble play here by these two teams here in the first 15 minutes or so of the second half. And now here's O'Gara. O'Gara up the near sideline, but too far for Bishop. And it'll be an Aris throw-in. Come back the other way, or at least that will be the intent anyway. That one sent up high over midfield. And it'll come all the way back to Tsuki. He'll touch up on it, get it to Colborne. Colborne will look upfield. Quick pass to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi will send it up. Kai Pritchard is in the area there, but the ball will bounce back to the middle of the field here, and Aris will control it. Quick tap pass out to the far side there by Quentin Olson for Aris. And they'll work it up here onto the foot of Miles. Miles coming in after the injury. That injured LCR's player is on the bench now, elevating his leg on the back of the bench. So hopefully it's nothing serious, and he could be hopefully back for LCR's next game. And that one's chipped in. O'Gun's in the area, but it was headed away there, I believe, by Ortega. And now a free kick coming here for Dakota Fusion. It's going to be just outside of the goal box. Looks like we might have a Dakota Fusion player slow to get up. Dakota Fusion getting somebody ready to come in if needed. It looks like it's going to be Raiku Cavano could potentially come in here. He's got his jersey on. He's got a drink of water. He's standing by his coach, just waiting for the cue to go in. And looks like they'll keep him on the sideline for the moment. So a little bit of a delay. So the goal kick coming right on the edge of the goal box, about 20 yards out. And it will be taken by Yusuke Nami. Oh, no, yeah. Well, somebody will take it. I think A little miscommunication there between Pritchard and Yusukanami. So it looks like Yusukanami will take this kick. And he'll put it right on, and a nice save by Halvik as he tips it over the crossbar, and it'll be a Dakota Fusion corner kick. That's probably the longest delay of the game. That should, in theory, add some stoppage time to the second half here, although the last few Fusion games, stoppage time after 45 and 90 minutes has been always less than a minute, it seems like. So the corner kick will come into Kai Pritchard. Pritchard will dump it back here for Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi centers it in. O'Gunn's in the mix of all those defenders in yellow jerseys. And now it's come back to the outside. Bishop challenging. He drops it back. They'll send it back in. And that one's headed off in the direction of O'Gunn, but shielding O'Gunn from his goalie, Halvik, was Quentin Olson for LC Aris. And that prevented any possibility there for a shot attempt for the Fusion. Near sideline now on the foot of Mateus Mora. And Mora has it chipped away there by Colborne. It's picked up there by Bolger. And now they'll put it onto the foot of Yusukanami. Yusukanami making a move. Yusukanami with a shot on net and a shot save by Halvik. Shot on net coming in the 66th minute. A chance there for the Fusion. Kai Pritchard all over the place there, scoring goals, getting shots on net, taking the ball away from LCR's players, and he's been a force since he's come out. So it looks like Bishop will come off for the Fusion, and coming in is Shuntaro Endo. Substituting into the game for the Dakota Fusion, number 26, Shuntaro Endo. 67th minute of play as Shuntaro Endo will come in to take over for Ethan Bishop. Over to the near side here. It's Acuna with it now. Acuna sends it into the middle. Bolger sends it up and tried to skip it away there, and they'll get it back onto the foot of Pritchard. Pritchard now sends it, I think that's Yamaguchi on the far side, and it was. They'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Fusion. That one's sent up high and through the football uprights. Would have been 3 points if it was a different sport. A dangerous pass across the face of an open goal there. But he was confident enough to make it, and they did get it. Now it'll go out of bounds, and the Fusion will have a throw-in from the far side. So it will be, I think, Endo who made the throw-in. It's going to take some getting used to not saying Bishop on the throw-in, because that's usually, I could record myself saying that, and then I could just hit a button, and that would work 99% of the time, it seems like. They'll drop it back here for O'Garl. O'Garl looking around. He'll feed it over to Colborne. And now Endo on the far side. They'll come all the way back. Colborne will put a foot on it, put it up inside, and head it off to the left side. O'Gunn. Oh, and it was out of bounds. Or was it offsides? It was offsides. That's what it was. That was a nice Nice effort there by Rashad O'Gunn. For a moment, I thought it went out of bounds, but no, the right call was made. He was indeed offside. I was so intrigued by him keeping it in bounds, I didn't even notice that he went offside. Free kick will come up. It was intended for Ben Penna. Out of bounds, and another LCR's throw-in here. So 3-1 our score as we enter the 70th, almost to the 71st minute. Want to thank Brooks for his time helping us out on camera today. As due to miscommunication, he thought the game started at 6 instead of 7, and as a result, he had other plans, so we let him go early. But thank you for his time, and our scoreboard lady now doing a great job on camera in relief of our good buddy Brooks. She's a little too shy to talk on the microphone, though, so. But she'll do the best she can on a camera, that's for sure. Here's Colborne. Bolger drops it back here. O'Gara over to Colborne. Colborne will flip it up far side there for Endo. LCRs will get it back. They'll get it on the foot of Roman. Roman will slip it out to the near side, and LCRs will try and make a move. And he's taken down unintentionally there by O'Gunn. As Mateus Mora trying to make a move up the field there. It'll be a free kick for Roman, and the whistle will blow before he can even take the free kick, because he took the free kick a couple yards up the field too far. Said, hey, do it again. Some nice plays to get it right back onto the foot there of Mateus Mara. And now inside, and a little miscommunication gives the ball right back to the Fusion. Bolger will dip it back here for Acuna. And Acuna now into the center of the field here for Gasper. Gasper sends it up to Endo. Endo on the far side cannot get it to go in, and a loose ball, and Gasper will touch up on it. Gasper will send it in. And that one's a little bit too high for the header attempt. Gasper will get it right back, and he'll push it up to Yamaguchi. And now they'll drop it back here to Halvik. Halvik will send it across, and they will flip a pass up over onto the foot here of Mara. Mateus Mara still with it. As LCRs tries to pass around the smothering Dakota Fusion defense, and O'Gunn comes away with a slide, avoids a slide tackle. And O'Gunn pops one up a little bit too far. Pritchard going after it. He might be able to chase that one down. He gets tripped up over on the far side, and that should be a free kick from that right about that spot where the referee was at. As we close in here to enter the 74th minute of play here in about 5 seconds. Officially in the 74th minute now. Mohamed Senyang into the lineup now, and now bring Rashad O'Gunn out. Checking in for the Fusion, number 8, Mohamed Senyang. Corner kick, and that one just over the crossbar. And it looked like Yamaguchi who tried to get the header in there. And now coming in for the Fusion is Riku Kawano. Checking in for the Fusion, number 21, Riku Kawano. I'll put it onto the foot of Kiwana. Got to get used to that name now that he's in. I can barely read my own handwriting when I wrote him in numerical order back at the start of the broadcast there. They'll dump it back. LC Aris will control, and they'll send it up. And that one's out of bounds, and that'll be a throw-in here for LC Aris. Once again, whether you're tuning in, cheering on the... I almost tripped on my own shoelaces there. Once again, if you're tuning in, cheering on LC Aris, we wish your team the best of luck. If you're tuning in, cheering on the Dakota Fusion, we wish your team the best of luck. We wish both the teams the best of luck in this broadcast. And right now, the luck has been a little bit more in favor of the Dakota Fusion as they're up 3-1 here in the 76th minute of play at Jim Gata Stadium. And that one will go over everybody right back to Tsuki. And Gasper has it. Gasper will shift it over here onto the foot of Kiwano. Kiwano, I think is how you say it. Kuna, I left my pronunciation sheet at home because I was expecting to get a different sheet here, and I guess I should always bring my pronunciation sheet. Let's just put it that way. This one high up front here for Sin Yang, and that one will go out of bounds, and Akuna will take the throw-in. And I think they just called another water break. So we had a water break in the 31st minute. Now we have a water break here in the 77th minute. So once again, to recap your goals, in the 5th minute, it was Yusu Kanami making it 1-0 for the Dakota Fusion. And then Herman Fernandez Ortega, the defenseman, would score in the 23rd minute to make it 1-1. And then Rashado Gunn would score 2 minutes later after Ortega did to make it 2-1 in favor of the Dakota Fusion. And then in about the 50 or 51st minute, Kai Pritchard would check into the game, and about the 53rd minute, he would score a goal to make it 3-1. And that's where we sit right now here in our second water break of the game. So, once again, 30 minutes in approximately. This is more like 31 minutes in. And I'll be right back because I got to go start the field clock here, so I'll be right back. It's going to be down here. There we go. Don't worry about that. It's 4 seconds ahead. I can make it from here to there in 4 seconds. All right. Clock on your screen matches up perfectly with the clock on the field there, as we had a 4-second delay in me realizing that there was a water break. So throwing from Acuna here for the Fusion. They'll come all the way back here on the foot of Kiwano. Kiwana will send it over for, I believe that's O'Gara. O'Gara, Bolger, and Bolger tried to chip it over, but LCRS was there, and I think it was Matthias Seymour who got a touch on that one for LCRS. Out of bounds and throwing. Oh, get it over near side here for Kuna. Feed it in. It's Bolger. Bolger trying to avoid some defensemen there for LCRS. And now Gasper. Gasper will pitch it out here for Okuna, and Kuna will drop it right back onto the foot of Kiwana. Kiwana now over to O'Gara. O'Gara up to Bolger. Bolger, Kai Pritchard. Pritchard inside, loose ball, and at the top of the box there, it's cleared away by LCRS. And now quickly we touched up on by the Dakota Fusion goalie just shy of midfield. To keep that ball on that side of the field and keep the pressure on LCRS here. 78 minutes, you have a 2-goal lead. You don't want to say it's a comfortable lead. They say that a 2-goal lead is the worst lead to have in hockey. I would say that in a match like this, the way it's been going for these two teams, that a 2-goal lead is not safe at the moment. Not in the 79th minute. Centering pass up high, and that one's out of play. That one chipped forward there, and racing for it is Ben Penna. And now the Fusion quickly send it the other direction. Looking on the foot of Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi sends it up, and one bounce, it's into the hands of Halvik. Yusukanami was pursuing, but Halvik got it off the bounce and ended that threat. O'Gara will tip it up midfield. I think that's Pritchard with it now, and he'll dump it all the way back here for Kiwano. Kiwano will chase after it, and Miles coming up after it, and A for effort there for Eric Miles. And now Gasper sends it way up, and a collision in midair and a whistle. Free kick here for LCRS. Thought maybe for a moment there he was going to pull out a card for somebody, but didn't. Looked like an innocent midair collision. I don't think anything was done on purpose in that particular instance, but nice move by Kuna. Kuna will reverse. Get it back to Bolgorn. Bolgorn will chip it up for Yusukanami, and Yusukanami sends it a little high and wide. Here in the 81st minute, a few seconds away from the 82nd minute of play. So LCRS has about 10 minutes to try and square this one up at 3. And pull themselves out of here with at least a point in the standings out of Jim Gata Stadium here in Moorhead, but Dakota Fusion has certainly not made things easy tonight here for LCRS. Now we'll skip away and throw in here for the Dakota Fusion in the 82nd minute. They'll get it to Acuna. Acuna over midfield there on the foot of, that's Sen Yang. Sen Yang will watch it go out of bounds, and Sen Yang will pick it up for the throw-in here. And now he'll drop it off for Acuna. Acuna gets it right back. Now he'll center it in, and Pritchard over the crossbar with the header. Quickly back to action here off the goal kick for Aris. Bolger tried to get it. Now Miles has it for Aris. And he gets pushed off the ball, and a whistle and a free kick here for Aris. He got pushed off the ball there by O'Gara. And a great eye by the official to spot that one right away. So a quick pass here to Roman. And Roman will pop it out to the sideline there for Mora. And Mora tried to make a move, but it slid off his foot out of bounds. And good for a Fusion throw-in. So they'll go back. It's Gasper. Or no, I take that back. It is Kiwana. Still getting used to the new players coming in here.
James, let's go.
Controlled nicely there by Yamaguchi. Now sent back to O'Gara. O'Gara over to the far side there for Endo. And now O'Gara has it again. O'Gara will send it up. Pritchard in the area there, and now it's going to be a race. Can Pritchard get there? He will challenge, but the pass is off. Almost trouble there for LCRs, but they're able to get away, get out of it. They'll drop it back here onto the foot of Kiwana. O'Gara will send it up. Yamaguchi has it now. Yamaguchi with a ball that will ricochet through. And Uganda. Sen Yang, I meant to say. Sen Yang has it. Drops it back to O'Gara. O'Gara now for Gasper. Gasper sends it over to Acuna. Acuna now to Bolger. Bolger had challenged there by Miles, but the Fusion able to recover. And now LCRs will pick it up. No, they will not. It'll be a whistle and a free kick here for the Fusion. 85th minute, so about 5 minutes left in the matchup, plus maybe a couple minutes of stoppage time. Acuna has it now. Get it to Pritchard. Pritchard back to Acuna. Acuna looking for a passing lane. He tried to get it in there for Endo, but it was taken away by LCRs. And now they'll try and set something up from the defense, but Yamaguchi pressuring there on Seymour. Outside here, it's Mora with it again. And out of bounds. And the official, whistle is blown by the center official. The sideline official said it was a Dakota Fusion throw-in. And I think the middle official is saying it's should go to LCRs. And it looks like we'll have a substitution here for the Fusion as well. Potentially Stan Van Den Beld coming in for the Dakota Fusion. Checking in for the Fusion, number 19, Stan Van de Belde. They'll work it over far side there. Now come right back here for Kiwana. Kiwana will tip it back here to his goalie, Tezuki, as Tezuki originally had it. Now Tezuki will send it to the far sideline. All the way up to midfield. It's chested down by Edno, excuse me. Endo. And Tezuki will pick that one up. He'll come out here, touched up immediately by Penna. Penna will try and take it up the field, and so far so good. Up into that far corner. He'll work around the defense. Penna sliding, and a nice save there by Tezuki, and that's about the first save Tezuki's had to make tonight. But Penna, wow, got around several strong defenders there for the Fusion. And that one will be stripped away there from Sin Yang by the Aris defense. Pritchard has it. Pritchard feeds a ball up the far sideline there out of the foot of Yusukanami. No, I take that back. It was not Yusukanami. It was somebody else on the far sideline. Couldn't quite see. Yusukanami's more towards the middle of the field right now. Looks like Taylor Aris checking into the lineup here for LCRs potentially. Still on the sideline at the moment. And now he'll check in. Checking in for LCRs is Taylor Aris. So in the few seconds away from the 90th minute of play now. We should potentially have 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time here. Unless they decide to just blow the whistle after a few seconds, but like they have in the last 3 games that I've done here. Suzuki will send it out far side, and they'll send it way up. And this might be an opportunity. Can they create something? He'll chase it down to the corner. He's not able to spin and make the kick, but it'll be a free kick, and now they'll plop it inside. So we will have some stoppage time here. And that one sent up. Pritchard was there, tried to slide in, and it goes out of bounds. They nearly scored there. I think it was Yusukanami trying to get the rebound off the misfired pass by Pritchard. And Yusukanami, almost in slide tackle fashion, pushes it into the back of the net, but it just went off his foot as Pritchard couldn't quite make the connection and it'd go out of bounds. Some dramatics here in stoppage time of the second half. Pritchard with it again, getting harassed, and he eventually has it taken off, and there'll be a free kick here for the Fusion. A double whistle, but that's not the end of the half. I'm not sure what the double whistle was for. And a yellow card has been issued to LCRs. So a free kick coming from just inside 40 yards out of the goal here as we enter into the 92nd minute of play now here. Sin Yang will take the kick. And no, it will not be Sin Yang. It was actually Gasper who took the kick. And it'll go out of bounds for a goalie kick here for LC Aris. And that'll do it. That is your final score. The Dakota Fusion sweep LC Aris in the season series, and they get that much closer to being able to host a home playoff game, as right now they sit in second place in the conference standings with the 3-1 victory here over LC Aris. Once again, your goals in the 5th minute by Yusu Kanami to make it 1-0 for the Dakota Fusion. And then Herman Fernandez Ortega would tie it up in the 23rd minute for LC Aris. He got the lone goal for LC Aris today. Rashado Gunn in the 25th minute on a header would make it 2-1. And then the lone goal in the second half came off the foot of Kai Pritchard about 2 minutes after he checked into the game in the 53rd minute. He would score to make it 3-1, and that would be your final score. We have one more Dakota Fusion game for you here in this regular season. That'll be against Joy Athletic on Saturday. And then after that game, we'll see what the playoff picture looks like and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're watching on the Dakota Fusion YouTube channel, whether you're watching on Magnitude Sports, or whether you're watching on 11 Sports. We thank you for tuning in to this broadcast today. Once again, your final score, Dakota Fusion 3 and LC Aris 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast outside of maybe the numbers on the scoreboard, and outside of that, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great evening.
Was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.